Hey, I'm Scott, and I'm an American in Bangkok. Right now, I'm at Happy Land Center getting ready to eat some lunch. Lately, I've been coming here because they got all kinds of food here, and I just figure, hey, you know what? I got to start eating something different. So instead of eating you hump we cook and Japanese food and whatever, I figure, might as well try some different things that I might not have eaten for a long time. Right now I'm having some curry chicken and some sweet sausage. But I wanted to talk about something before I get into my lunch. I wanted to talk about this situation with the guy, the vlogger, who got beat up supposedly got beat up. I don't know if it's the truth or not. You would think it is. He got beat up because he was filming and he didn't want to stop, and the motorbike taxi, I guess he said the F word to the motorbike taxi. I don't know if he spit on him or whatever. I watched the video, but I couldn't really tell a few things but from what was shown. But I will say this, because I've been here a long time, a lot longer than I think just about anybody doing vlogging in Thailand. And I'm not always the easiest person to get along with. When I first came over here, my temper was a lot worse than it is now. Much worse. And I will say that I was lucky in the beginning. I'm not the kind of person who would belittle someone for whatever reason. I just don't generally do that. It's not in my nature to belittle someone for no reason. So that's one thing. You don't go around and you see somebody throwing up, all right, maybe you get a little chuckle. Yeah, okay, great, but you don't have to film them because it is, it's portraying them in a very negative light. You don't need to do that. What is the purpose of it? To get views, to make a little extra money? I can tell you that most vloggers who are monetized are not making all that much money. And so, is it really worth it? No, it's not. And even if you were getting paid good money, you would think that you would know how to get out of it before you got yourself in a position that you're going to spark some violence or you're going to elicit violence. It's just not a good move to, first of all, to be filming and then making fun of somebody on the walking street in Pattaya. It's not a good move to film anywhere where there's prostitution going on, where there are girls who they don't want to be shown. There's expats or tourists or whatever you want to call them doing their thing in Pattaya or wherever it is, wherever there are the red light districts. Soy Cowboy, Patpong, Nana, wherever. It's not a good idea to film there. I don't care how much money you're making. I know some people do it and get away with it. I also know that some people have probably been caught. And I know that inside the bars, most of the time, they say no filming, no photography. Now, Thais are very tolerant, but when you do it, and especially when you do it and you are belittling and berating someone, when you're laughing at them because they're throwing up or because they're you think they're chubby or they're fat or whatever, it's not a good way to endear yourself to Thai people. So those things need to be taken into consideration. The fact that if you're drinking and you do that, that's a recipe for disaster, especially if you're a smart ass, if you're a nasty drunk, if you're the kind who likes to pick fights. Listen, I mean, I'm not saying that I have never gone out and tied one on. When I first came over here, I did all the time. And I ran around and I had my issues with people at times. But the bottom line is this. First of all, if you can't seriously fight, I mean, you are not a badass. Why do you want to go and pick a fight anyway? Because I guarantee you there's going to be somebody that's going to come along who's badder than you are. And nowadays, you never know who that person is. even in the past. And when it comes to the Thais, I mean, you say the F word, you speak poorly to a Thai person, they might let you turn around and walk away, and then you might get a knife in your back. And guess what? Chances are not much is going to come of it. I mean, you're already dead. So what's the point? Yeah, okay, it's wrong. And it's wrong for somebody to, because they don't like you filming somewhere in a public area, it's wrong for them to attack you. I'll give you that. It is. It's wrong. It's a public area. You really want to do that? But it's kind of like you see somebody who is down on their luck on the street, and you photograph them or you film them. You treat them with dignity. You give them some respect. If you want to stay here for the long term, you make sure that you're respectful to people, because in the long run, the people who are not respectful, they'll get theirs. Eventually, they will get theirs. Doesn't matter if you're vlogging or you're not. Vlogging just adds another element into it. So, you know, it's too bad that the guy got beat up. But these things happen. I'm not going to say it was okay, it was good, oh, he got what was coming to him. Well, you know, listen, you live and learn. Maybe he learned something from it. Maybe he'll never do this again. So maybe it was good that it happened. He should feel fortunate that he's not dead, or that he's not, he doesn't have a broken face and broken bones, and that 20 guys didn't jump on him and beat the living heck out of him. He should feel fortunate. You don't want to get yourself in these kind of situations. Take it from somebody who, you know, I didn't have a problem. Somebody was walking down the street and they gave me a little bump. You know what? Now, you know, be more mature than that. Somebody gives you a little bump, maybe they're looking for a fight. Unless you really want to fight. I mean, if you really want to fight, then go for it. But then you gotta accept the consequences, which you might get you might take a shellacking, you might take a beating, or you might end up dead, or you might win and then get away with it. There's a chance of that. Or you might win and you go to jail. He might beat you up and nothing might happen. The police might tell you, go home. You deserve this, whatever. That might happen. This is not your country. You do not have the same rights as you have back in your own country. Each country has their own laws and their own way of dealing with things. And if you come to Thailand and you ask for trouble, you'll find it. And it's taken me a long time to understand this. Now, I've been very fortunate because I never pushed the limit. I knew and I know there is a line you don't cross. And I'll give the example of the live stream I did, a week or so ago, where the tuk-tuk driver, I walked by and I was looking for the market. I walked by him. He said to me, he said something to me like, hey, you want to ride or whatever. I said, no, thank you. No, I'll walk. Then when I was walking back again, he made some smart remark and he said something about, you know, why won't you take my tuk-tuk or something, whatever it was. But he was a bit nasty. And I just turned to him and I said, I don't have to take your tuk-tuk. You know, like, be real. Be realistic. Now, I didn't berate him, but I said, listen, I want to walk. I don't have to take your tuk-tuk. I don't need your tuk-tuk. You know. Now, there's part of me that I wanted to run over and just clock the guy. I mean, you know. But then what? Then you got his buddies jumping in. Then you got to deal with them. Okay, let's say I got lucky. I knocked 3 of them out. There's still 1 or 2 of them left, not to mention all the people that might come out. And if you think that people are scared, some of them might be scared, but there are some people out there that they'd love to have an opportunity to crack you one. So it's my advice. This is coming from somebody who's been here for many years and who didn't always have the best temper. And even now, I check myself. I've learned to check myself, to just stop myself. The majority of the time, I just try to shut my mouth and just go, you know what? I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm not going to go on and on and on and try to engage and escalate something, because it's very easily. You want to fight with somebody, you say the wrong thing, you swear at them, whether in Thai or English, they're not stupid, they will know, and you'll get a fight if you want it. And you might get a fight against 20 people. The best thing to do is just walk away, not let it get to you. You know, Mipe and Rai, don't worry about it. Jayin Yin, take it easy. And if somebody bumps you, it doesn't hurt for you to say, sorry, no problem, I'm sorry. Even if you're in the wrong, be the bigger person. That's my advice for the day. Until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di leo jagan mai.